Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining me live here on Level Up. It's wonderful to have you as part of our live conversation. We're on several different social media platforms. So, welcome to the show. Let's dive right in.
Welcome to Level Up with Winnie Sun. Market update. Speed round. Award-winning financial pro. And now, get ready. I present to you Level Up with Winnie Sun.
Hello, friends. I'm Winnie Sun, your host, an award winning financial pro, a Forbes contributor, and a CNBC council member and contributor as well. And I am so grateful to be sharing this time with you today. I hope that you're having a great week. It's the middle of the week, and days are sure moving fast here in beautiful March. Hopefully that you're enjoying the day where you're at. But let's just start with the financial markets like we normally do. Let me just tell you, it's been kind of a blah day. Not too much is happening, not too much news, but certainly the market's still open. And currently the Dow's in positive territory above 59 points right now in the positive. NASDAQ is down about 53 points, and the S&P 500 is also down over 5 points right now. Now, part of the reason why you're seeing sort of like this hodgepodge of not great information, not bad information, just kind of like lukewarm day to day, well, it's primarily because some of the news coming out this week hasn't been that big. And, one thing that we saw yesterday that is keeping investors from getting more excited about the financial markets is February's inflation data was just reported. And actually, there was an article that came out from the New York Times talking about this as well, talking about how although there was a 3% uptick in inflation from January through February, it wasn't like so significantly much bigger. But nonetheless, we're hoping that inflation goes in a downward direction. It hasn't completely done that, and therefore Wall Street expectations have been sort of muted. Now, both the S&P 500 and Nasdaq, of course, did do pretty well yesterday, but nonetheless, it is not where it needs to be today. So, despite the initial positive response, core inflation, now this is what when you take out things like energy and food costs, it did rise more than anticipated. And this really caused a mix of relief and also continue to caution investors, like all of us, to just, be on the lookout, be careful, don't get overly aggressive or greedy when it comes to the market. Yeah, just sort of watch and see because the big meeting or deciding is going to be on March 19th, which is when the Fed's next meeting will be. And we're expecting Fed Chair Jerome Powell to sort of maintain a data driven and sort of a neutral stance on monetary policy. So wait to see on that. But let's segue over to more things happening from our US government. And this is a big one. I know many of you are big TikTok fans, right? Loving those videos, so shorts, and it's like it's so popular. So often you're saying, did you see on TikTok or did you see on YouTube? It's just such a big popular social media platform. So question on though of today, and you might be seeing this trending on social, is this discussion of a potential US ban of this social media platform. In fact, the House has already passed the bill. Now it's going to the Senate. Yeah, CNBC, Jonathan Vernon has covered this today. The bill advances to the Senate. We know TikTok's fate, whether you think that they should be here and continue to do business or they should leave, that's really up to you. But here's what I'll say. The big thing that they're talking about now is not just that they're a social media platform, not just that they're very, very popular, but also they're mentioning things like broader tensions between obviously China, the United States, national security concerns, free speech rights, and also talking about various stakeholders in the tech and political spheres as well. So this is what's happened so far. The House of Representatives has passed the bill with a really overwhelming majority of 352 votes to 65. So this could lead to a ban on TikTok here in the United States. They're saying that unless the parent company ByteDance divests the app, that TikTok might just be out of here. Now, this bill is currently being named the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act. We don't know what's going to happen in the Senate, but right now we do know that it's going there, and the future really depends on what our politicians' votes will be. Now, there have been previous efforts on the federal and state level to do away with TikTok's access here in the United States. But now, like it's going up to vote. So the bill has identified, they say, TikTok as a national security threat, citing, of course, the ownership of TikTok by ByteDance and other issues like that. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'll certainly update you. But curious to see how you feel about that. Are you a big fan of TikTok? Do you utilize TikTok? I know many social media creators are all in on TikTok and they love the interaction they have with their communities. They've seen great traction on the content they've created. So I'm curious to see how you feel about TikTok, right? See, Vicky is saying, wow, yeah, it is. And Dwayne Huff is saying, yeah, big news, historical news as well. I'll let you decide on what you think about that. But do know that that's up for votes, and that's the information that's coming out. So we will see. We'll certainly see, right? Lots of things to pay attention to on that. Now, my next story that I want to share with you that I think is a big one too, because I know many of you travel and I know many of you travel hotels, but there's also a big community that travels in short-term rentals, namely Airbnb, VRBO, and other timeshare rentals and things like that, right? We like to keep the diversity of how we travel, where we stay when we travel. That's important to all of us. Well, I don't know if you've stayed in Airbnb lately. I certainly have, and I know some people feel really strongly against them, and some people are just fine with them and love them. So it just depends on who you talk to, right? But here's something that I think is going in the right direction. Airbnb has now officially created a total ban on indoor security cameras at all their properties to enhance guest privacy. Now, I don't know about you. Now, this article, of course, was shared on New York Times. Christine Hauser shared this article. I don't know about you, but when I read this article and this, I was just like, I didn't even know this was allowed at Airbnbs. I knew that they could do cameras outside the property. I didn't know properties were allowed inside the property. I didn't even know this ban needed to take place. I thought it was just like a no that you couldn't have security cameras in the houses or in the properties, whatever they may be, right? So no, so Airbnb now just announced a worldwide ban on all indoor security cameras on all of its listings. This takes to an effect on April 30th. So this is a significant policy shift. But here's the thing, like, what about if you're staying before April 30th? I'm sure they have to let you know, but this is like, I just can't even believe that this is a thing. But indoor cameras were allowed in common areas if this was actually disclosed to guests. Okay, so that's good. At least it was supposed to be disclosed. But the decision emphasizes that Airbnb, of course, is saying, okay, we're big on privacy, and also that people just don't want cameras in properties if they're renting them, right? I can get if you're a home owner or a property owner and you want to see who's in your space, okay. But if you're renting it out similar to like a hotel or whatnot, you got to see it from the guest standpoint. I just can't believe this is okay, right? So, yeah, Vicky's saying this is a little bit scary. I think it's a little scary too. But nonetheless, this is taking place. So, do know after April 30th, no more indoor cameras in your Airbnb. So, if you find one, definitely let Airbnb know or do whatever you need to do. But yeah, outdoor cameras are still being permitted. Airbnb says, of course, but inside, no longer a thing. I'm happy to hear that for sure. I hope you are as well. And speaking of things that I'm happy to hear about, this one being here in Southern California, I think is interesting. I don't know if I love it or I hate it, but I'm going to just say I'm cautiously optimistic that this is going to be a fun thing, not only for all of you, but for my family as well, because Disney here has a big presence in, of course, the legendary Disneyland in Southern California is in Anaheim, not too far from where I'm at. this is what we're going to do. This was actually shared by the Associated Press, Amy Jackson sharing this. Disney is planning to transform a 50-acre parking lot into new attractions at their, Disney theme parks here, which is really, they're really going to be focusing on immersive experiences. This is pretty cool. And what's nice about this for those of you who live in the Disneyland Anaheim area is that they're saying they're going to be able to do this without increasing their current 490 whopping acre footprint. So, future developments, they said, could include areas such as Coco, Wakanda, Frozen, Zootopia, and other areas of like this full themed experience available to visitors. I mean, who doesn't love a great trip to Disneyland or California Adventure, right? We have two really cool theme parks in the Disney silos here in Southern California. But after a favorable recommendation from the city of Anaheim's planning commission, it does look like Disney's expansion project is now just going to await city council approval, and the decision is expected next month. And if that happens, then this will invest about $1.9 billion over the next decade into improvements at the theme park. Of course, that includes lodging and other tourist important things, right? Entertainment offerings, food, all that stuff. And this was sort of inspired by the success of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, which is currently at Disneyland. If you haven't visited it yet, it's really fun. My son, my oldest, he's 14 and he really wants to go. Actually, he's 15. He just had a birthday, but he has been really wanting to go back. But yeah, Disney is aspiring to create sort of more of these deeply engaging experiences or settings. If you've been to Shanghai Disneyland Zootopia attraction, then you sort of know what they're hoping to bring here into the Anaheim amusement parks as well. So, the city of Anaheim, and this is supposed to actually help many people in the city of Anaheim. Hopefully, that's the case. Um, I don't know. If you know differently, feel free to let me know. But supposedly, this will help boost their tourism and the local economy in Anaheim. As you know, Disney brings in a significant revenue to the area in terms of hotel revenue and other city investments. And Disney has said they're committed to, of course, investing in more local street improvements, more housing, affordable housing for the residents, and also other infrastructure projects that will also benefit the neighboring Anaheim residents as well. So that should be fun. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. If I learn of them opening or starting, I'll try to keep you updated on that. It's not really that far, and I know Carlos, who also watches and is part of who watches our show in the Anaheim area. I know that he's usually really helpful and kind of updating us on all things Disney improvements as well. So hopefully he gets a chance to do that. And thank you so much, Vicky. Yes, just had a birthday. My son just has a birthday. Yes, we're very, very happy, and he's a great kid. So I'm a very happy mom because of that too. All right. So with that, let's take a look at the market. Currently, the Dow is in the positive of 58 points still, so that's good. Nasdaq, S&P, both in the negative. Nasdaq's down 42 currently. S&P 500 is down 2 currently. So we'll see. So we still got a little bit of time to go before the market closes. But for those of you who are tuning in, who are here live and who are here on replay, thanks so much for being a part of our Level Up community. You are certainly amazing and awesome, and I appreciate you so much. Please give me a like if you don't mind, on like button, and subscribe to stay updated on all things Level Up content, and to watch full episodes of Level Up with Winnie Sun. Check out NASDAQ, Amazon Fire, Samsung, LG, Roku. And of course, you can check out, listen to the Yes Factor with Winnie Sun podcast, which is on Apple Podcasts and the LinkedIn Podcast Network. And for those of you who would like to share this show, make sure to tag at Winnie Sun to show your support so I can thank you in a future episode. And let me tell you, my list is getting long, so I'm going to hopefully be able to do that very, very soon. But thank you so much, my friends, for being a part of our show. And I look forward to seeing you again this week. Take care, be well, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye now.